hobby, what I'm gifted to do, and that is with art, of being a real creative person, into making a living and making it my livelihood. It wasn't ever intentional, I guess you might say. As far as I can remember, always wanting to draw, always wanting to make things, always wanting to create things. I've always had a love and appreciation for the beauty of nature and color and all of those things. But I didn't have any formal training. I didn't go to a school that had even an art class. So I was that kid that was just always drawing on the back of his test. When I was in college, I did started off with fisheries and wildlife management, and then I took just a basic drawing class, and man, it just changed everything for me. Suddenly, all of the fundamentals of art that I didn't have training in came together, and it all made sense. And I saw real quickly that this is something I was good at and wanted to do, and it was who I was, so it was putting gas to the fire. Off I went. Now, how do you turn that into a career? Well, I had art professors that, jokingly, they kind of said, those who can do, those who can't teach. I don't know about that necessarily, and I thought, well, I'll try to do both. And so, to make a living in the art career, I did pursue an art education degree and enjoyed that. I went on and taught high school art for about a 5-year period and loved it and did very well at it. And really, the satisfaction that comes with teaching, I experienced that, but also I found that I was having a very little time to do my own creativity and my own painting. A teacher is someone who puts 100% of themselves into everything, and I was exhausted at the end of the day, and the last thing I want to do is pick up my own brushes and do my own art. I also am an angler. I've been a passionate fisherman, especially a fly fisherman, all my life. So those two gifts and talents and things that I pursued just were driving me. And I had an opportunity that came my way to start into the guiding business way back in the late 1980s. When fly fishing was still somewhat of a novelty here in the state. I think I knew the whole 10 fly fishermen in the entire state. I thought, well, I'll combine those two talents and passions of mine. And so I worked primarily as a guide, but as I guided, I would paint scenes of the river and of the trout, and my clients that were my fly fishing clients also became my art collectors. People who saw what they liked, and I would do a representation of the experience of the day, whether it was doing a watercolor painting of the beautiful fish they caught, or a scene of the river and kind of catching that moment. And people liked them and obviously thought they were of a quality enough to give their hard-earned money in exchange for my paintings. So that kind of started it somewhat. And then I started entering competitions and started winning a little bit in some of the, not just regional shows, but even on a couple of national shows. I was never satisfied with my work, so I always thought, well, my next painting is going to be better than the last one. I went to galleries and presented my work, and I got rejected from a lot of galleries. That's pretty humbling as an artist, and I think when I would take my art and put it out there for others to critique and judge and such. So I got in a few galleries, but again, they're taking large percentages and that type of thing. So when I thought, well, why not have my own gallery? I knew a few artist friends of mine, especially in Colorado, that had become very successful in selling their work, and so I took the plunge, and still combining the guiding with the art, and somehow managed to make a living doing that. So there I was able to showcase my work, and really a lot of folks that had a following with me in my fly fishing guide career and everything began taking more notice of the art that I was doing. Knowing that as a guide, as you grow older, there's a certain time when you get tired of pushing that boat down the river every day, and I think that day started coming, and so the transition from going from guide to artist was a smooth transition for me. And so having a place where people come in and see what you do was very good for me to showcase my work. The painting has just been something I can't not do. If I didn't make my living at it, I'd probably still paint.